English, correct?
English, yes. In one of the last videos that I made, I showed you that I was going to purchase the LG Stylo 4 as a gift. So as you can see, here it is. This is the LG Stylo 4. As far as turning it on, you'll notice that in the back it has a fingerprint reader. Now before I show you this, in fact, let me show you the LG Stylo 2. And the LG Stylo 2 is what we're being upgrading from for a birthday present. So as you can see, this is the LG Stylo 2. Cheap plastic back. It's your typical shitty ass Android. Anybody who knows me knows that I freaking hate Android phones. I hate them. And the reason why is because Apple just has such a superior, it's just Apple's just so much better in most cases, you know? So what basically the Android market has done is they've done their best to copy as much of Apple as they possibly could. So this is that Stylo 2, as you see, right? So basically, you know, it's your typical Android nonsense. And you know, you play games on these things, you answer a couple of calls. Yeah, it's all cute and all, but camera was shit. The reason why I decided to upgrade her in the first place is because she complained. She's like, oh yeah, I can't take great camera pictures. I want to take better photos and everything. This camera was a piece of shit. It was like those cheap ass Chinese cameras that they throw onto everything. Like when you buy a drone for like $20 and it happens to have a camera on it. And I know there's a lot of Android fanboys getting mad at me. And the reason why I say what I say the way I say it is so you'll get mad at me because I don't give a goddamn. And that's just what it is. Because these things suck. I'm sorry. I'm shooting this video right now using Apple iPhone X. And it just so happens that iPhone X is a superior phone. Now, obviously, iPhone X is all the way at the top of the heap. But the thing about it is right below that, you still have the iPhone 7 Plus and the iPhone 8 Plus. And the only reason why I didn't get her one of those was because either one of those wouldn't have fit her plan, you know, because see, the thing about it is some people don't want to spend $100 a month on a cell phone. Some people just want to spend 80. Nothing wrong with that. I can totally understand it. You know, you save your money where you save it. So as you can see, this is the LG Stylo 4. Now, it's easy for me to just talk about the what is it called, the stats, and just talk about, you know, what is it? You know, I could just, like a lot of these reviewers, they just talk about the stats and everything, and they just tell you about shit you could have read yourself on like Wikipedia. But that's not me. I do my thing differently. So basically, what do you got? You got a facial recognition is in this phone. Despite the video where the guy was explaining it to me, what I was getting when I was buying it, he said it didn't recognize your eyes, which was basically, I was saying, you know, can this thing recognize your face, like when you look at it, and can it open based on that? It turns out that the LG Stylo 4 absolutely can open up just by looking at your face. It also, as you can see again, it has this fingerprint scanner right here. So basically when you hold it, your index finger, as you can see, your index finger touches the back as you're holding it naturally, right? So if you're used to the placement of the button on the back of the Stylo 2, then you'll be totally fine with the placement of the button on the back of the Stylo 4. What I also should say is I always hated the up and down button. You see this? This is a rocker right here. This is the down volume. That's the up volume. I never liked that shit. I never liked why they put it there, but I guess they did that so that the sides would be a little bit cleaner. And when you put it into a case, there would be nothing interrupting the phone. So as you can see, the Stylo 2 had a stylus right here in the top of the phone. So you had the stylus right here in the top of the phone. You could pull that out. But as Steve Jobs said, we don't need no damn stylus. We're going to do it with our fingers. With our fingers, because you're born with fingers. So the LG Stylo 4 comes with the stylus in the bottom of the phone. So right there, you got the stylus right here in the bottom of the phone. You see that? You got the stylus in the bottom of the phone. Now, yeah, Grant, listen, there's a bunch of people who are already making videos on this thing. And the reason why is because right now it's hot. It's hot soup right now. See, the thing about it is they know that this phone right here is going to get a lot of attention, specifically because, you know, it's only like $200. Can't hold both at the same time. Yeah, so they know that this phone is relatively cheap. Hey, it's Breivik. Is that Breivik? Yeah, that's Anders Breivik, that piece of fucking shit, killed all those damn kids. You know, it's so sad when one of these people kills a lot of people in a country that doesn't have normal laws dealing with murder. They don't know what to do with these people. If it had been up to me, they would have taken that fucker into court and they would have put 2 bullets in the back of his head and then they would have ground his body into dog meat. Because anybody who would kill 77 people like that, 77 kids, you deserve nothing but to be incinerated. And that's exactly what I would have done for you, buddy. But here he is doing his Heil Hitler salute because he basically got away with it because he's in one of these cheap bullshit European countries where they don't see this on a regular basis, so they don't know what they should do with him. I'd grind his ass into puppy chow if it was up to me. Ground to puppy chow. You're lucky they don't let me get my hands on you. So anyway, born before 1985. As you can see, scrolling is very smooth on this phone. Scrolling is very smooth. Some people are saying that the processor in this phone is the equivalent of a Samsung Galaxy 7. Some people are saying, well, it's in between a 7 and an 8. Now, this is obviously an LG, but I have to say, they have done a lot to make this thing look as attractive as they could. I mean, it basically is what an iPhone... It looks just like an iPhone 7 Plus or 8 Plus. In fact, holding it in my hand, it feels exactly like you'd have an iPhone 7 or 8 Plus in your hand. Now, as you notice, the buttons, like the Android buttons that pop up, they're part of the digital screen, as you can see. They're part of the digital screen. So there's not very much bezel there, as you can see. There's not a whole lot of bezel. Now, they haven't gotten to the point where a budget maker can give you a full display where it goes all the way up to the top. And they haven't given you like anything close to rimless yet. But, you know, that might take some time, or it might take maybe another generation of phones or something like that. But so far, voice calls on this phone. Let's dial somebody up. Let's call somebody. Who are we going to call? Let's see. Who can we call? Let's call Investors Bank. How about that? 1718 843 0168. Okay, let's call them. And it says phone HD because it's got high definition calling. Let's hear that speaker. Okay, it's got a nice loud speaker. It's a lot like the iPhone 8. Okay. Hello? 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 Hi, can you hear me? Hello? Hello? Okay, so that first call didn't go too well. Let's call somebody else. Who should we call? Let's call Westbury Jeep. Let's call them. That's 516-997 3900. Yeah. It says HD phone calls. And obviously this has the front-facing camera where you can do like FaceTime or whatever Android calls it.
Westbury Jeep, Chrysler, Dodge, Ram, your 5-star dealer. If you know your party's extension, please press pound followed by the extension number. For the sales department, press 0. For our exclusive rescue service or for Chrysler roadside assistance.
So basically, as you can see, the speakerphone is not terribly loud, but it's loud enough where you can hear it. It's not going to stun you with how loud it is, so that's a little bit disappointing. Now, let's see. What else can we do? Can we use the music on this son of a bitch? We got a radio, FM radio. Let's use FM radio. Let's see what that's like. Okay, so you have to use headphones as an antenna. Ooh, okay. Let's see. What channel is 97.1 is a channel. Let's see. Plug in the earphones. You have to use the earphones as an antenna. Okay. Out of the box, by the way, this came with a charger and it came with a USB cable. It didn't actually come with headphones, so I guess they expect you to do that yourself. And if you have to plug in headphones to use as an antenna, that also means that you don't have the ability to use stereo Bluetooth headphones and use FM radio, because if that was the case, then you wouldn't have an antenna, because the stereo headphones that are Bluetooth wouldn't be able to give them the physical wire to be used as an antenna. So that's actually a bit of an annoyance. We got a clock here, world clock, timer, stopwatch, no cities. How about I add South Korea. What is this? Seoul, South Korea. Seoul, South Korea. It's 6:43 a.m. I'm gonna be in Seoul, South Korea for half of July. So you gotta make sure you tune in so you can watch my travel logs, because I can guarantee you it's gonna be fun. Management, update center, downloads, app trash. Most of these Android apps are trash. LG mobile switch, smart cleaning, essentials, calculator. You got a calculator. You can calculate how much money you've lost buying this thing. Which for me, by the way, some people will probably ask how much did this cost. It came out to $183, and that was with a $50 deposit. So basically, it's a little bit over $200 and something dollars or whatever. It didn't really matter to me because I'm just using my YouTube money to buy this as a gift anyway. So it's not a big deal to me. It doesn't hurt. So as you can see, there's a small mic up here, probably for the camera. What is it? The 3.5 millimeter headphone jack. There's that USB Type-C cable in the bottom, fast charging and whatnot. And then on the side, you have your sleep wake button. And that's basically that. I mean, this phone, part of what attracted me to it was the fact that it was new, but it does have this Q lens. And as you can see looking through it, it's a nice camera design, right? Nice camera. And you can also obviously record video by going to different modes. There's different modes here. Auto, food. If you want to take pictures of your food, we've got food mode. Match shot, grid shot, snapshot, so forth and so on. You know, there's some reviewers who are busy enough to take pictures using the phone and then show you what those pictures come out looking like. The thing about it is, if I was going to do that, what I would do is instead, and what I could do, in addition to this video, what I'll do is I'll make a video directly from this phone and I'll upload it to YouTube, because that's the only way for you to really, really see exactly what you'd be getting out of it. So I could do like maybe a HD video using this phone camera in its maximum settings. So as you can see, overall, there's a reason why this phone is going to be one of the most sought after phones for people who are on a budget. So there's nothing wrong with shopping on budget. My thing is, if you can afford an iPhone, let's say you're somebody who calls in and you're cross-shopping this phone, cross-shopping this with, say, an iPhone. First thing I'd tell you, don't buy this shit. Get yourself the iPhone 8 Plus. That's the first thing I would say. Let's see if I take a big truck. Let's see, big truck series review. There we go. Let's see what my videos look like on this piece of shit. I mean, this lovely LG phone. Let's see. Let's pick one that's in HD. Let's go to Jeep Trackhawk countermeasures. Let's see what that volume sounds like.
Yeah. Wait a minute, I know this guy. Oh, he got matte black, and he took that silly Trackhawk badge off. He got the matte black.
Oh, and by the way, with this new stylus system that this thing has, you can write with the stylus on the screen even if the phone is in lock mode. So, okay, I mean, you know, the video quality looks about as good as I shot it.
This octa-core, that's where I would mount it.
You know? Right now, by the way, it's streaming off of cellular data because I haven't connected it to the internet in my house yet. Or I have to also connect it in my house, and then I also have to go over to her house and connect it too. But thus far, I mean, it looks okay. Volume could be a little bit better. I mean, this speaker volume is not as good as my iPhone X. But, yeah, some of these camera phones usually come with better speaker drivers so that you get a lot of power out of speakers. This one does not. Now, this phone, I have put a 64 gigabyte card in. However, this phone will accept up to 2 terabytes, which I find absolutely incredible that it can do that. So, I guess all the new Google Android phones will accept up to 2 terabytes, I suppose. Oh, in fact, let me go back. Yeah, but this is how it streams off of cellular network. You know, so basically, You know, I think what I might do is I might make a video off of this phone and upload it to YouTube. So far, it looks good. I mean, it has a great iPhone-ish look to it. Basically, that's how you judge most of these new Android phones. You judge them by how close to being like an Apple iPhone is it. Because obviously, that's what people want. The problem is a lot of people can't afford Apple iPhone. You know, and I bought this, keep in mind, I bought this as a gift, and it came out to less than $225 as a gift. And the person is really, really happy because, as you know, I'm upgrading from an LG Stylo 2. And this just doesn't, you know, this wasn't as nice. This didn't look as good. This is a last generation phone that came out a while ago. So, in fact, let's take a quickie look at the, what is it called? Let's take a quickie look at the specs of this thing. How do you get to the main page? Let's just take a really quick look at the LG Stylo 4 specs. LG. I know, because there'll be somebody that says, oh yeah, well, you should know what the specs are. Listen, if I gave a goddamn about an Android phone, believe me, I absolutely would memorize the specs. Unfortunately, I don't care about any of the Android phones, so I'm not going to memorize anything, and that's just the way it is. If you want to see somebody memorize the specs and use the specs to say, oh yeah, well, you should get this over an iPhone, well, you go ahead over to their page and they can do that for you. But I'm not going to do that because I already know which one is superior, and the answer is iPhone. Sorry. So anyway, comes with DTS surround sound. Let's see, 5. This LG Stylo Plus had these things, 1.4 gigahertz processor. The LG Stylo price in US has been set $239. I think I paid a little bit less for it, but somewhere around that. I don't even really care. I didn't even look at the receipt. It's a gift. I could care less. The LG Stylo 4 runs Android 8.1 Oreo with LG UX on top. That's a user interface. And it features a 6.2-inch Full HD 1080 by 2160 pixels. Full vision display with an 18 by 9 aspect ratio. When you first start the phone up and you start using pictures, it asks you if you want to display all the pictures in 18 by 9. That's what I picked. Under the hood, the handset is powered by octa-core Snapdragon 450 SoC, coupled with 2 gigabytes of RAM. Mind you, they could have put more RAM in, but they felt that 2 gigabytes was more than enough, because after all, it's a budget phone for budget people. There is an 13 megapixel sensor on the back, and yes, from what I've seen thus far of the few pictures I did take, yeah, it's got more than enough pixels to make you happy as a camera phone. Now I do have to play around with the video camera because I want to find out how well the video camera videos. It says the Stylo 4 has 32 gigabytes of inbuilt storage. So the 32 plus the 64 micro SD card I put in, which it can go up to 22 terabytes. 64 plus the 32, that gives you what, 96. So this thing has more than enough space. It had like 54 gigabytes free when I checked. And that's before I added it to the 32. It says it has, oh, by the way, this phone also has near field technology where you can pay with Android Pay at the, you can use the NFC to pay, like if you go to Burger King or Taco Bell and they accept, your payments through the Google Wallet or whatever, you can use that. Yes, you can. A fingerprint sensor is available in the back to unlock the screen using your fingerprints. Besides, the handset has a 3300 milliamp battery. It measures and weighs 172 grams. Feeling this feels about as heavy as an iPhone 7 or 8 Plus or even a 6S Plus. There's really no noticeable difference. Now, where some people might be upset is the fact that you cannot take the back off of this phone to change the battery yourself. Android doesn't want you buying them cheap-ass, Chinese-made plastic piece of shit batteries off of eBay, putting those things in here and setting these phones on fire or causing them to explode in a little child's pocket when they go to school. So no, you cannot replace the battery yourself. You can put the SIM card and the micro SD card into the side tray, which is right here on this side, but that's the limitation towards what you're allowed to change. So yes, while you're allowed to upgrade your memory, you are absolutely not allowed to change the battery. A lot of Android phones are being made like that for quality control purposes. If you don't like it, well, shame on you. You're just going to have to go and you're going to have to deal with one of these. I mean, look at this thing. Look at this thing right here. Look at this. This LG Stylo 2 had one of these cheap-ass backs, this cheap-ass plastic-ass back shit. This is not, I mean, this is not luxurious right here. This is nowhere near as luxurious. But, you know, oh, let me get that off there. But that's the thing. Some people want to have that cheap-ass battery back so this way they could take shit out and they could, you know, they could pop in one of them Chinese batteries and then that shit burns your leg off. But, you'll have no such luck with the Stylo 4. So if you're one of these people who talks all that shit on these forums, oh yeah, well your iPhone, I can't change the battery when I'm getting low on battery, I can't change the battery. Guess what? You can't do that with this either, okay? Samsung, LG, all of them have ruled against you. And the reason why is because they don't want you buying cheap-ass parts or getting ripped off in the street and the next thing you know, the phone explodes. They don't want that. And the same thing goes with memory cards, too. They pretty much don't want you changing memory cards because when you get these shitty memory cards, the Chinese be lying to you online. They say, yeah, this thing holds 32 gigabytes. You get that thing home and find out they reflashed it to say it holds 32, but it only holds 2. They don't want that happening. So that right there for you is what I have to say up front. That's 20 minutes of what I have to say up front about the Stylo 4. Now, if you have any direct questions, you can ask me direct questions. Now, if you have any criticisms and comments, oh yeah, well, I didn't like your review, you're not professional. The answer is no, I am not professional. I'm only here for the money that I can make as an amateur. The YouTube money that I make $2,000 a month. The YouTube money alone, I took $200 and I've used that to buy this gift. So no, I want you to understand, I'm absolutely not a professional. In fact, I'm gonna put a completely unprofessional review of the LG Stylo 4 as the title for this video, just to stress my point. I'm only here for the YouTube money, and that some of that money went to pay for this. And like when you ask, oh, how do you afford shit like this? How do you fucking buy Alienware, all this shit? Well, that's pretty much the way I do it. I don't even have to use my work check to buy the shit. I just buy it using YouTube money. So anybody who wants to criticize me, listen, you could send your criticism straight to the fucking recycle bin because that's where it's going to end up when I see it. So thank you very much and peace out.